Alright folks, thought I would just showcase this build I've been playing. It's the new Mathel build. It's been pretty fun crafting the gear for the build. Slightly frustrating playing the build at the end game, very end game, but I think I need a little bit more attack speed and I need to sort some things out, which I'll talk about. Foils first, as they're your main ones. I used 2 Fidelitas spikes to begin with, which have now sold. Fidelitas spikes, you can get them corrupted with attack and crit speed on, and you can level with those for a long time. In the process, I've been trying to make foils for the build. As you can see, ones like this are effectively the same as the lightning version, but they deal fire. They are tier 1 attack speed with tier 1. This is fire damage, but you would have tier 1 lightning damage, and then you would effectively, which I will show you, you buy a beast, or I had some, you imprint it, you regal it, you would annul it, or you can imprint, regal, then split it, and hopefully you get 2 copper. Well, you'll see the clips, you'll know what I mean. So those are the foils that we've crafted. Heartseeker and Celebration, so you can see my imprint. You can also get smite damage. I used a pristine fossil and got life, max life, res, minus max, and I got some accuracy, which is actually super helpful. That was just pure fluke, so that's the helmet I'm using. The Amulet, crit multi, fizzes extra lightning, and some life. This is probably my worst piece that I crafted. It's okay, but you could definitely craft better. I was just struggling. Then you've got the Impulsors with 4 reds. Nothing too major there. These like 5 exalts. My ring is a diamond ring. I got Assassin's Mark and Cold Res. Again, regal or null, and I crafted on lightning to attacks, elemental damage, and some life. My other ring, lightning damage to attacks, wed, life, int, strength, lightning damage, just a pure chaos spam. So yeah, that's that. The boots, I purchased the boots. Ideally, I was trying to do some 2-tone boots in here. I was trying to get some 2-tone boots with max life and some res and some move speed, but I didn't really get it. So I just ended up sticking with these boots. My belt I found on the floor, which is probably the best belt I've found in a long time. Even though the tier 1 energy shield isn't that useful to me, and you'd probably be better off with a Stingent and another jewel giving you more attack speed, I couldn't really turn this piece of gear down when it dropped for me, so I had to use it. Gloves are crafted from the temple. This roll is a singular roll, so you're looking for like 2 reses, and I've got deck so I can wear my foils, and I've just got life on top of them. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, I've been crafting some fairly nice stuff, which has been real fun to do, in fact. The jewels I'm looking at, I've got Blood Rage, Dash, Berserk, I've got Blood Magic, Leap Slam, Fortify, Melee Stun, Endurance Charge and Melee Stun. That just helps you jump around, obviously. War Banner, which is here, but also what you can do, which Mathel has, which I haven't done, is Mathel has basically Immortal Call, cast when damage taken, Wave of Conviction, which effectively makes them take more lightning damage. I haven't done that. I think that would probably help in this super endgame fight like Uber Elder. Also, there's a few other little things that I'm maybe missing from his build. I'm missing an Ancestral War Chief with Ruthless and Elemental damage, and that probably does an absolutely huge amount of damage, which I am missing, again, which would make killing Uber Elder a little bit more simple. Silver Flask, I've gone for a Silver Flask Cinder Swallow, because it gives me a bit of crit chance, but for mapping a Silver Flask with curse removal would be much better. Got the Diamond Flask, the Azeri's Promise, and the Wise Oak. And yeah, I'll just run you through some gameplay basically afterwards in chat about the process of crafting the foils, and then some endgame content, and you can see how it is. Alright, so here's basically what you're going to do. You're going to eventually craft your foil. You're going to get your foil. You're going to get a Craykick Chimera, which is like a frog. You're going to purchase that, buy it, or it's either in your bestiary, and you're going to use an imprint. Now, when you imprint it, you're going to put the sword in the machine. You're going to fight your way out of the bestiary, and when it drops, it's going to give you an imprint. This is basically a save/undo button that you can use for magic items that are not Shaper or Elder. Once you've got this, this basically means you can do anything to it apart from corrupt it, and you can revert it back. You could even scour it and revert it back. So what you want to do is, ideally, you want to regal. You hit something amazing. You hit tier 1 crit. You hit tier 1 fire on top of it. You hit flaring, right? I didn't end up hitting anything, so you can now choose to annul it and go again imprint or go again, or you can use a phenomenal plagued arachnid, and this allows you to split an item, this is RNG, into a certain combination, meaning I could end up with the crap mod on top and the celebration, and then the other good mod, the Heartseeker, goes in a different foil, if that makes any sense, right? However, this time it split that first time, and I got the two mods on one foil, and I got another foil. Now, because these are technically the same item, you can use that imprint on the one that was just in the bestiary, and that means you get two. So now I have two heart-stopping jeweled foils of celebrations instead of one. Now that cost me quite a few exiles to do. Luckily the split worked, but you still have to buy some imprints. Then what you will do is you will imprint the actual item again, regal, annul, and then once it's down to just 2 stats, you can multi-mod it, but that's basically how you're going to split something if you weren't sure. Now, once you've got the build rolling, as you can see, its damage does ramp up pretty well. I said at the beginning I was frustrated with the damage. I think I was more frustrated at myself because I've just recorded this video coming off the back of 3 failed Uber Elders, and when I say failed, I mean failed deathless. I did 2 Uber Elders, fine, then I streamed, and I did, basically, I tried to do them deathless. My very first one, I used only 1 portal, and I decided to reset the zone and try go for deathless. Then again, I used 1 portal and reset the zone, and then I bricked 2, so I had actually spent 4 Shaper sets, and I just bricked 2 out of tilt, I guess, which doesn't normally happen because I don't normally get tilted at PoE. But as you can see, when you have 50 stacks, the build feels brilliant. However, what I was getting annoyed at, and you can be the judge or not, because I do think my build needs tweaking. It's got good gear, but I haven't perfected the playstyle, and I haven't really figured out what it needs. I've just bought and crafted good gear and not figured out what the build needs. There's a difference between the two, if that makes sense. And what I think it needs is, it needs to feel stronger for me before the ramp up. Once it ramps up, it feels great. But before it ramps up, I want to feel more crits and more ruthless. So probably what I'd do is work on my crit chance and work on my attacks per second. I've actually only level 89, so I could get 2 dual sockets with triple attack speed nodes, which means I'd be getting probably like another 20% attack speed, which would actually make a huge difference to how it feels early on. As you can see, if you play the build smart and you leap around and you wait for your ramp and then ramp up, it's actually got really nice damage. You can blow up the portals well, jump about like this and move. What I was really struggling with is when you die, it's really hard to get back into the room because you don't have any spell dodge, you don't have any real mitigation. So you're just preying on your own mechanical dodging skills and for the zone not to basically fuck you, because sometimes there are certain combinations where you have to be inside the circle, there's a beam coming at you, there's a ball, there's degen ground, there's a whole list of things which means you can't get back in the room when you want to. But, you know, as you're looking at the build, the damage is actually fine. It does all the Guardians deathless and everything else, which I will showcase. I've done all the Guardians and all the tier 16 Elder Guardians deathless. I'll just put some clips up that I happen to have on Shadow Play. I'm not sure if they're all deathless on the Shadow Play, but I streamed some today and they were all fine. But yeah, as you can see there, when you die, what happens is the fight can get extended. You need to put your auras on, and then the room can get a little bit messy. You try to get back in the room, and all hell can break loose. Now, once you're back in the room and everything's going fine. Yeah, you can kill it. As you can see, there's degen everywhere because I've messed up the room, but you saw the original fight, yeah? If you don't play it like a complete monkey like I did, it's actually completely fine. Just requires a bit of micro, and yeah, my ramp up is... My attack speed at the beginning is not good enough. It feels awful. So I would say work on your initial attack speed, because if you're having to wait to get 40 stacks for your build to feel good, it's kind of not really a build, it's kind of a cheese build. But don't get me wrong, the build is super fun. I think where the build shines is like tier 13, 14, where you're still doing high tier monoliths and you absolutely crush them. But the speed that you map is, I'm not going to say it's headhunter level quick, because nothing's headhunter level quick, but when you're at 50 rage stacks and you have leap faster attacks in your leap slab, because you might not need the endurance charge on stun because it's slightly lower tier content, the speed that you can map at is pretty ridiculous, and I actually have had a lot of fun. We've kind of joked in Discord that my build is One Punch Man, because he just punches at the sonic speed and just knocks everything out. You can see now I'm at 50 stacks and it's still not perfect attack speed. I'd still like more, dual sockets and to level up. But the build definitely functions. It's an absolutely fine build by Maffle. It is slightly expensive for what it is, but I think it does, I guess, provide a playstyle that is unique. I'm not too sure whether I want to sell my foils. They cost me probably like 15 to 16 exalts to make, because I had to use split beasts, imprint beasts, and I wasn't getting lucky. It's an RNG fest. Could have taken me 1 go, could have taken me 10, right? So I was a bit unlucky, and the craft was kind of expensive, but as a whole, like, Shaper area is kind of nice, because obviously as you're leaping through, you're building up rage. So when you go on this guy, you know, you can definitely see like its DPS is fine. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the most crazy DPS I've ever played, but I think if I tweaked the build properly, got Wave of Conviction in, and got some other things in, definitely possible to become a ridiculous build, and it's super fun. It is super fun. I'm sat here saying it's super annoying, but it also is super fun. I think I'm just currently in a state of tilt at my shit performance on Uber Elder and getting no duel in like 8 goes. I'm sure we've all been there, where you've sat and you've farmed like 50 Guardian maps and you've got like no duel, and you just sat there thinking, oh, that was such a waste of time. I'm kind of in that mood, but yeah, as you can see, once you ramp up in Shaper, it's absolutely fine. And once you get more Ruthless Blows kicking in, and you get a Ancestral War Chief totem next to you, you're going to be absolutely gibbing bosses down, to be honest. And it is a fun playstyle, just leaping through like this, smiting everything down, seeing the impulses explosions. I have had fun on it. I wouldn't say I regret making the character or anything like that, but I'm probably not going to play it anymore, just because I've crafted everything for it now, and I kind of want to sell the gear off and maybe play Cyclone before I sort of finish up on the league, because I haven't played Cyclone, and I'd like to play it before it gets nerfed, right? Because it's probably going to get nerfed knowing GGG. So I'll leave you with some footage of the tier 16 Guardians Deathless, and some footage of maybe the odd monolith, because it's done tier 16 monoliths fine. I haven't done a 5-way fight because I just haven't got the stones, and I don't fancy buying them, so I don't have footage of that, but I imagine it's going to, just like Maffles, handle it absolutely fine. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. Probably going to work on a Cyclone build now. That's probably going to be my last build of the league. Hopefully you're all having fun. If you want to support me, there are links in the description. But you can definitely see, like there on Shaper, once you get the Ruthless Blows ramping up, it does chunk down. I just need to really work on, I guess, that totem Wave of Conviction, and I need to just get that rampage going a little bit more, because you can see, like now, once my attack speed's going, it's a bit slow, you know, but there it is. I'll leave you with some footage of the Guardians Deathless, and yeah, you can be the judge. Leave a comment if you've enjoyed the video. If not, it's taken a long time to craft the gear and get all the footage, so hopefully you're happy with that. Again, this channel is advertisement free. I cannot be a partner on YouTube, which means no adverts, no money, so your support is very much adored.
smiles in a funny, happy way. It's entirely broadcast to the world of FDA.
Whether you're at a family reunion or hanging out before the show, have Skimmel Cream with everything. It'll make you talk real low.
Mate, if the beat starts fucking skipping, you wanna fucking check your fucking... check your face. Oh, fuck off, I'm trying to talk to this woman. There's ground on the floor, there's a fucking stupid minion attacking me. So obnoxious. The samurai's eye.
Last night a DJ saved my life. Last night a DJ saved my life.
Oh.